We're back in my messy kitchen again. And today I wanted to show you some of my favorite kitchen gadgets. Yes, I am a little bit of a kitchen gadget person, so I probably have more than a lot of people would. But these are some of the things that I think are really key to cooking at home and having a healthy eating habits at home. So there are things that I find make things a little more convenient for cooking at home, make it a little bit faster. He wants to say hi. There he goes. So let's start off with the Insta Pot. If you have hi, there's the other one. If you don't have an Insta Pot, I highly recommend it. I'm gonna turn around here because I can't actually flip the camera. So my Insta Pot is currently culturing yogurt right now. So I put the yogurt in, mix it all up. You do the little boil setting and then you click yogurt for however long you want. I have mine going for 12 hours. So before bed tonight, I will be able to take the yogurt out and have yummy, delicious, homemade dairy-free yogurt. You can do bone broth in here. I do a lot of bone broth. It's a really good thing for those like, oh my God, I forgot to thaw out the chicken and I need to make dinner. You can cook frozen meats in here.
Why do you like chicken?
Yeah. So frozen meats can go in here. It's great for a faster method for cooking up sweet potatoes or squash and stuff like that take quite a long time roasting in the oven. You can do them in here and it basically like steams them. So it is a very good tool. I would highly recommend getting you an Insta Pot if you don't have one. I do have crock pots as well, but I go to the Insta Pot because it's faster. I don't want to cook something all day on the countertop when I can cut it to maybe an hour or less in the Insta Pot. So I highly recommend it. Next on the top must-have list for me is a really good blender. So again, I have the Vitamix. This is an older version. I got it actually as a birthday present. 4 years ago now, and we literally use it probably 2 to 3 times a day. Vitamix, there's the Blend Tech, I think is the other kind of like high quality one. They're both really good from what I understand. I think Ninja has a good one, but I'm not sure any of them can match the Vitamix as far as being able to juice, blend, grind, everything you could think of in this blender. So we make a lot of smoothies. My boys drink smoothies or shakes at night to get the veggies in. And I usually blend up my coffee because I put MCT oil and stuff in it. So I blend it in the mornings to give it a little more of a creaminess. My husband makes shakes in here. I make my protein shakes in here. I also do soups in here. So the soup that I'm about to eat in a few minutes, I have done that in here where if you have the vegetables cooked, if it's something that needs to be cooked, cook them up, throw everything in here with the liquid, turn it on. There is a soup setting and it blends it and heats it all at once. So it's a really good way to use like a roasted tomato soup. I have roasted tomatoes in my pantry or in my fridge. Throw some tomatoes in there with it, some bone broth because I love bone broth. Blend it up and I can make a quick soup without ever having to get on the stove. So it's great. So I think this is very good. Blends your ice. You won't have chunks of anything in this. And that's what some other blenders, you get chunks. You could technically juice a vegetable or fruit with some water and it goes into a nice smooth juice. That's how great it is. So again, I highly recommend a Vitamix or a really high-end blender, especially if you do a lot of smoothies and shakes and soups and stuff like that. Next, I feel this is kind of a great to have, but not necessary, is a nice toaster oven. So, and it's dirty, I know. I don't even have a toaster. We don't do toast in a toaster. I use my toaster oven. This one is awesome because it can roast, it can bake. It's got, a pizza setting, broiler. I can slow cook in it. You can do all kinds of things with this. So it's great when I have like a smaller portion meal, especially if you are a single person cooking only for yourself. Don't heat up your whole house to cook a piece of chicken and vegetables for one, you can do it in your toaster oven like this. Okay. So toaster ovens like this. So I think this is really good. And the top does get warm. So, you could have something like rolls sitting up there if you're warming up some bread to go with it. Next, we're going to come to the other side of the kitchen, is an air fryer. Now, this is my new one that I just got, air fryer. It's a Power XL. And it has this little reservoir on top for water. So I don't have it plugged in, otherwise I would show you. And, it's got the little tray inside there. I actually also have this little grill pan. I haven't tried this out yet, but I'm going to. So this is great because I can do like a chicken or some kind of meat or something. I can put it in and set it. It steams first, and then it signals you and switches over to air fry. So it'll steam whatever you want to cook, and then air fry, or you can just steam, or you can just air fry. So it's got a lot of good options. I had an air fryer before that did nothing but air fry, and it was great. It still works fine, but the handle was kind of breaking. The tray kept falling out if you didn't hold from the bottom. So we got a new one because we use it and makes great fries. It's good for, I do gluten-free, I call it crispy chicken for the kids sometimes, with like almond flour, coconut flour on it. And this is really good to help it get crispy without obviously, going into deep frying oil. Now, my second to last one, maybe, I'll show you one other one, is the Soda Stream. I did a whole video on this. This is awesome because I know some people in the group here mentioned that they stopped drinking soft drinks. I gave up soft drinks back when I got pregnant the first time because, wasn't supposed to have caffeine. So I stopped drinking them. And then I realized how bad they were for me with all the sugars and stuff. So I cut them out completely. The only thing I might have now is an occasional ginger ale if I really feel I need, like if I have kind of an upset stomach type feel. But I prefer to actually just make it myself. So this is awesome because this is the perfect way to wean yourself off of sodas, because you can, you just put regular water in here, filtered water, and connect it. I'll even show you. It gets loud though. I can do it with one. I don't know if I can do it with one hand. Let's see. Let's use the other hand so I make sure it actually clicks in there properly. And then you click it in like that, and then you just push the button on top. Did I got in there right? And it seltzers it for you, if that's the right word. It puts the carbon in there, so it makes it fizzy, and then you can take it and you can flavor it with whatever you want. Like I have these little Stevia Drops. This one's a berry, so sometimes I'll use those. I do have somewhere I have purchased, oh, here we go. I have a couple of these I've tried. They're, no sugar, unsweetened. It's just like, it just gives it a little essence, as it says. So it gives it a little flavor without being all the sugar and crap that you don't want. So that's awesome. And that you can use fruit juice in it if you wanted a little splash of fruit juice. You wanted to, a little, little squeeze of lemon or something like that. And yes, you could make your own little flavored syrup of like a lemon and ginger and a little sweetener of some sort, and kind of cook it down and make a syrup out of that. I have done that as well. And then the final thing, which again, I don't use this very often, but it is really great. I made cauliflower rice in it the other day, and it's all taken apart. I'm going to show you here, is the food processor. So I have one. Again, this one's actually fairly new because my other one started cracking because I did use it a lot. It's really great, but sometimes I'll use the blender instead of this. So I think a food processor or a really good blender is key for being able to kind of chop stuff. And that also has the thing to grate and everything on top. And then I forgot about this one. This is really the final one. Because they already talked about scales. Scales are great. They're great for measuring when you're baking, and cooking stuff, as well as for knowing how much you're using in your meals. But this is my other one. It's the handy dandy Immersion Blender. That's what we call it. So this one's from Cuisinart. It has the Immersion Blender attachment. it has, I don't know where there's another little piece that you attach the whisk on. It's got the little thing if I want to whisk stuff up with that, or it's got this little piece, like a little mini food processor part. The Immersion Blender, if I am fixing like the soup that I'm gonna have, I cooked it up in the pot, cooked the vegetables up with the coconut milk and the bone broth in the pot, and rather than pour it in the blender and then pour it back to the pot, I just get out the Immersion Blender and stick that sucker in there, and it grinds it up just as good. Now the Vitamix might have gotten it a little smoother, but the Immersion Blender works amazing for stuff like that. For whipping, I use the Immersion Blender for sweet potatoes, or if I want to, whip them up. I don't put them in I also have the stand mixer over there. I forgot, that's a good one too. I don't put it in the stand mixer. I'll just use the Immersion Blender and kind of chop it, whip it a little bit with that. So those are my favorite kitchen gadgets, which I highly recommend all of them. If you have the money and the space to have them, I say get it. If you can only get like 2 of them, I would go with the Insta Pot and the Vitamix for sure. And then maybe third would be the air fryer, because there's a lot of versatility with that. Between those 3 things, you could do anything and everything within your kitchen and never ever need to go out again. If you have any questions or want to know more about which ones of what I have, feel free to comment. I can send you links or give you more details on the specific model that I have. Any other questions about kitchen gadgets, let us know, and I'll see you soon. Bye.